Hey everybody, Lifestyle Focus Wealth family and friends, is Ronco Johnson. How are you? It's Lifestyle Focus Friday. And let me ask you a question. You ever thought about why health is so important to your wealth? Yes, we're going to be talking about that today and how your wealth is tied to your health and vice versa. And why it's important and why you need to go get the checkup. So sit back, relax, and unwind. It's your boy Ronco Johnson, and we're going to come back and tell you all the nuggets that you want to know about and more. Hey, this is when the lights go out. Are you ready? Thank you for joining us. I'll see you on the inside. Hey, what's happening, family? Everybody, how you doing out there? It's Ronco Johnson, your Lifestyle Focus Wealth Advisor here. Thank you for joining us. We're inside another long day, a Friday, and it's September season. Happy September season to all you Virgos out there that may be watching our program. Thank you very much. It is birthday month for me, and y'all know how I get down. I like to do it all month long. So, hey, thank you for joining us. And hey, today we got an interesting topic, and I think it goes without saying. You know, have you ever heard the saying, your wealth and health are tied together? And we're going to talk about why. We're going to talk about how your health could be keeping you from your wealth and that state of mind that you may need to adopt. And we want everybody to have an understanding of how this really works. And for those of you who are watching our channel for the first time, do me a favor really quickly before we get started. You would make this thing really hot for me if you would do me a favor. If you would just simply click the like, the share, and the response buttons, all the notification buttons. I got short for words right down below to let everyone know that you are engaging in our content. We need you to do that for us and continue to tell your family and friends that you're part of our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community, and we absolutely love you for that. And you know, so many of you I get to see outside of this chair, and I get to hear your comments. I love your comments. I love engaging with you. So do me a favor, if you want to engage throughout this conversation, please put something in the comments. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. By the way, the algorithm loves the thumbs up. So I'm going to ask you to smash that button a few times. But if you will make in the comments, and before you put the comment, put the word takeaways. That way we know that this is some item that we spoke about that you feel was a nugget for you, that you feel that was important to you. Because we want to make sure that you're getting value from our content. And that's important to us. And you are definitely important to us. So we want you to come back, and we want you to tell somebody, right? So welcome back. Welcome back. This is when the lights go out. Are you ready? Thank you for joining us again. And, you know, wonderful things that we do here. We talk about what millionaires and billionaires do. That's what we talk about, what millionaires and billionaires do. And of course, we talk about our lifestyle-focused wealth philosophy that we're implementing here across the world and everything that we do. And from financial security to wealth building, we want you to achieve the peace of mind and the prosperity that you deserve. That way you can have the ultimate life strategy for yourself and your lifestyle goals. And we just want to be a part of that. But today we're going to talk about why health is so important to your wealth. Well, one of the things that we talk about here is life insurance. And Life insurance is definitely a major part in the wealth creation conversation, or you may know it as the estate planning conversation. And it's not mentioned very often, but I want to make sure that we have the conversation about why it is so important, right? Why is it so important? Because your health could really keep you away from your money, from the lifestyle that you really want to live, right? And most people don't know that you have to take a medical exam, and there's so many of us out there that are trying to avoid taking the medical exam. The medical exam, when you apply for insurance or life insurance, over a certain amount, they actually want to know how healthy you are. Get it? We put it both together. How wealthy and how healthy you are. They go hand in hand. I'm going to tie some of these things together, and I'm going to show you where you might pay attention. There's certain career opportunities that you have to be physically fit before you can join job descriptions like the military. Those guys have to go through a rigorous training, so many push-ups, so many sit-ups. They have to run so many miles. Why? Because they need to be in peak shape, and because they're giving their lives to save us, obviously, but they still have to be in peak shape. And when you look at athletes, they go through the combine training, and if they're in the football, you've been watching the combine, you'll see these guys being measured from head to toe. How fast are you? How high do you jump? How quickly do you respond? How is your memory? What is your recall ability? All these things are important, especially to the owners of the team. Do you know why? Because in order to give somebody millions and millions of dollars, it only makes a business sense to insure your investment. That's correct. Insure your investment. In many cases, they call that key person insurance or executive bonus or what have you, but we're just going to say you're protecting your asset. That's what we're going to call it today, protecting your asset. So in protecting your asset, you want to make sure that, in this case, the human asset is healthy enough to get the lowest premium possible. The healthier you are, the lower your premium. The younger you are, the lower your premium. Now, does it make sense why you got an 18, 19, 20-year-old entering the NBA draft and they're at the peak of their years, but the older guys have more experience, but guess what else costs much more money? The insurance. Why? Because they got to spend more money on the contract, and then they also will have to spend more money on the premium because the person's older. And in some cases, they may not be insurable. Well, how does that work in the real world? Do you remember when you were 19? Do you remember when you were 20? When you were running around, maybe riding a bicycle, kept your shirt off all the time, running around. That was me when I was growing up. But I can tell you now, things have changed. The metabolism changes. The injuries throughout my lifetime have changed. My body's recovering from different things that's happened over my lifespan, which could keep you from being what I would call in the most superior shape, right? The most superior shape. I like to laugh at that. Today, my superior shape is a round shape, but we continue to work on that, right? I want to say hello, everybody that's checking in before I get started. I see, I'm looking at our comments. I see all our regulars popping in. I see Miss Henderson. How you doing? Thank you for jumping in from Wisconsin. I see Big Mama in there. I see Leela, I see you over there. I got you guys out there. Thank you for talking in, checking in. And I see someone's giving me happy birthdays early. Thank you for happy birthdays early. Hey, listen, it's okay for me to accept birthdays because it's all month long. Every day is a birthday, right? Every single day is a birthday. And um, when we ask about how that happens, someone's asking me, how do you celebrate your birthday a whole month long? My response to that is very carefully. very carefully. Very carefully. Okay? So let's talk about this for just a moment. And where does health and wealth deeply interest you? And I will give a brief overview of where they connect and how they influence one another. Okay? So that everybody can be on board. And I think this is one of those things that we all can have the same conversation. Why? Because most of us are having challenges with one of these two topics, whether it's your health or your wealth. And if you're like me, you're probably going to talk about, well, how can I have better health? Well, September is Life Insurance Awareness Month, and I want to make sure that we have this conversation, especially now, because physical health is always something that we got to work on. Good health allows you to be more productive at work. It can lead to more financial stability. Conversely, poor health can lead to medical expenses and a loss of income. So when we're thinking about the cost of medical care these days, listen, if you think you're saving money by not going to see your doctor, you're actually planning on spending more money. If you're not putting the money into taking care of your body today, you will pay for it in the future. And if you're okay with that, it's my recommendation that you start buying up as much insurance as possible. Life insurance, long-term care, disability insurance, all those things right now. Why? Because you're getting older. Every day you're getting older. And with age comes the cost. With age comes the cost. Okay? I don't want y'all thinking Ronco didn't tell you. I can't have you going around thinking that Ronco didn't tell you. Because what kind of coach would I be if I didn't just shoot it to you straight? I'm not here to pacify anybody's feelings. We just need to shoot it straight, right? If we can start looking at our health straightforward and we can start talking about our wealth in a straightforward manner, we know when we're not doing right, y'all. We know when we had an extra piece of pizza on the weekend or a soda pop that had sugar in it. We know that we spent on a purse or we spent on food and we weren't supposed to. We know that we didn't put money in our savings, our checking, our IRAs, our mortgage accounts, our margin accounts. We know that we didn't buy any stocks. We know we didn't buy any real estate. The question is, what is it going to take for you to get there? Right? What is it going to take for us to get there? I'm waiting. I don't hear an answer. Maybe you need to join our community. Maybe you need to join our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. Maybe this is a great time for me to plug our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. Not only do we think about what millionaires and billionaires do, lifestyle focused wealth is a philosophy, a very holistic philosophy that, I created that intertwines your lifestyle and money. Our number 2 thing that we need to consider is mental health. Mental health. Financial security can reduce stress, y'all. How many of you have been stressed out? How many of you have bills that you got to pay and it stresses you out? Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Have you ever noticed when you got a bill that's been stressing you out, it's pretty high, the phone starts to ring and people start calling you and they're trying to get things from you and you just don't want to answer the phone. You have anxiety when things are happening and it just seems like it just keeps happening. I mean, first you may need a tire on a car, then maybe the lights go out, or maybe you get an unexpected cable bill and can't watch any of the channels, but they still expect you to pay the bill. Yeah, I'm in there too. I'm right there with you. Well, mental health, like I said, the financial security part of mental health can reduce your stress, anxiety, and anything else that's contributing to better health, mental health, such as, listen, how many of you are out there thinking about, when I pay my bills off, I don't have to worry about that no more. So what do? You immediately just get your cash from your paychecks and then you just pay off that bill because you're tired of being stressed out about those folks calling you. I'm Southern. Those folks, as we say it in the South, right? Well, listen. On the other hand, financial struggles can lead to more stress, which negatively impacts your overall health. It also forces you to make bad financial decisions. When you're mentally not healthy, it's almost every time you're financially not healthy, right? Here's an example. Because we wanted to get rid of those folks so badly, we might not listen to Ronco and his advice and my financial coach and saying, hey, we need to go ahead and put our money through our system, pay ourselves first, and then through leverage, pay off these debts in a systematic way that makes things work for both you, your stress level, your credit score level, health, wealth, and finance. All of it goes together. But because we're not paying attention to our mental health, we make the decision to use the cash that we need to be building up. And we use this cash and pay the bills directly, leaving us with no leverage whatsoever. If you've been in that area, raise your hand. Me. And if you think this is you and you're watching this podcast, I'm going to invite you to join us. Schedule some time with me. Go to roncojohnson.com and schedule some time with me. Let's talk about what's causing your stress. And let's see if we can help you reduce your stress levels. And if you join our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community, it's only $16 a month. I'm telling you, you're going to be surrounded by other people that are thinking just like you. That's going to help you. Why? Because financial security can reduce stress. It can reduce anxiety. It's contributing to overall better health. And when other people are around you are focused on reducing their stress, reducing their weight, and they're smiling bigger, they are lowering their cholesterol. They're lowering their heartbeats and heart rates, and they're getting rid of diabetes. And their mental health is increasing. They're happier. They're more joyful to be around. And they usually run in packs of happy, joyful, mentally healthy people. Am I making sense to y'all out there? I'm dropping some nuggets today. I'm dropping some nuggets today. Hopefully you guys are catching them. Hopefully you're scooping them up, right? So number 3, we're going to be talking about preventative care. You know, those of you with higher incomes, wealth has a way of the people out there with more income, typically they have more access to health care, right? Including preventative care, which can help them maintain good health. Okay? Such as going to the men's clinic. Check your hormone levels. Gentlemen, it ain't just the women. Check your hormone levels. As we get older, your testosterone goes down. You might need to check and see, some of you may have very high estrogen levels. That prevents you from getting testosterone through. So that's why we can't lose weight, no matter how hard you try. And no matter how hard you try, as long as those estrogen levels are up, those testosterone levels are going to be down. Believe me, it causes other issues. And then once your belt starts to expand, now you have to worry about hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol. And when that happens, it becomes incredibly difficult to get a financial product like insurance. Why? Because it begins to cost you more. It begins to cost you more. You start to get rated for it, right? And in order for you to get to where you want to go, we gotta buy the tool. But instead of paying $5 for the tool now costs us $50. In some cases, in real language, instead of $100, it may cost us $500 just for the tool. That's $400 of a difference that we could be using to put towards building our wealth. But instead, because we didn't take care of our health, we didn't take advantage of the preventative care that's available to us, we're having to pay the increase in premiums on the other end. So when you really think about it, your premiums are much less overall if you've been taking care of your physical being, whether you're in a higher income bracket or not. But we always like to look at, our higher income versus our lower income. People with lower income don't have the same access. But that is also a reason why you need to go to the doctor more often. You need to get checked up because you can't afford to miss work. You can't afford to be out for 2 weeks because your immune system won't recover fast enough. So your health becomes, again, tied to your wealth. If you miss work, you miss a payment. You miss a payment, now we got credit scores issues. Now we got lights going out at home. And you could be losing your home. So we want to stop the madness before it becomes overall stressful. You see how we're putting this all together? That's why we call it lifestyle focused wealth, because in our lifestyle choices, which is number 4 for today, our lifestyle choices is what it's all about. We can provide access to a healthier foods. Wealth can bring you a lot of things. Instead of eating poor choices of food, You can go to Whole Food and start eating better. You can afford the price of food a little bit better. And it's interesting. The most unhealthy food is the least expensive food. And it's usually around every corner in the form of a restaurant. Fast food restaurants. You know the one. You know the one. The one that you stopped at this afternoon. The one that you brought home for everybody to eat with you. Right? But your lifestyle choices, if you start focusing in on wealth habits, what millionaires and billionaires do, you check in with me every Friday at 1 o'clock. Become part of our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. Guess what? These habits can help provide access to healthier options, such as food, safer living environments. You can afford to buy homes in maybe a safer environment. Your kids go to better schools. The opportunities to stay physically active. You can afford the membership. You can afford the trips. You can even do a run in the Bahamas, a 5K run in the Bahamas, or you could just travel and enjoy hiking a mountain. All these things are part of the lifestyle, right? So I'm going to give you some tips. So ladies and gentlemen, men and women, get your pens ready. Get your pens ready, because after this break, I'm going to share with you some tips in balancing your health and your wealth. Why? Because it is so very important. It's so very important. And I'm going to tell you about it when I come back. Hey, join our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. Membership's starting at $16 a month when you pay the annual subscription. So register online today at www.lifestylefocusedwealth.com. All right, so here we are. We're going to talk about tips and balances for health and wealth for the end of this year. We're running into the final quarter of the year. So what I want you to do is go ahead and put this down. Number one, regular checkups. It's that time. Schedule annual health and financial checkups to stay on top of both areas. So get in touch with your financial professional. Schedule that one-on-one meeting. It's time to go over and review your plans. It's that season that some of you have made so much money that we need to start preparing for tax season and minimizing some of those taxes, using some of those strategies that we've talked about over the last year. It's just like in health. If you got an extra 10 pounds to lose, well, we got to start making sure that you eat right. We got to make sure you're drinking more water. We got to make sure that we're doing the things that are absolutely important, that satisfy and maximize our bodies, right? Well, the same thing we got to do when it comes to finances. We got to look at our budgets. We got to start tightening it up a little bit. We got to look and see if on our financial statements or our banking statements, are we paying extra Ronco expenses or, Hulu expenses? Sometimes we don't realize how many of those products that we still have that we may not be using are coming out of our paychecks every month, are coming out of our bank accounts every month. Okay? So schedule your annual review for both your health professional and your financial professional. Number two, let's start incorporating those healthy habits. So incorporate regular exercise and be sure you balance your diet. The one thing I do want you to forget is how important sleep is to your routine. It's highly important because if you're doing your financial checkup and you know that you're a little bit off, we need to get on board. Why? Because we got to go see our financial guy next week, the following week, because we have to be able to apply for some of these tools. Does that make sense? It needs to be part of the whole makeup. It's not just one half of it, it's both sides of it. And once you start to do that, you'll apply for your insurance, you'll get your disability, you'll get your long-term care, you'll get your life insurance, all those vehicles that need your health to be tip-top shape. Because you know, hey, based on what I did with my doctor, I'm probably in good shape. And if I am a little older, I'm still healthier. I need to go ahead and get this done while everything is working in favor for myself, right? Here's number 3, financial planning. I need you to create a budget and start saving for emergencies in the ways that we've been talking about, just like millionaires and billionaires do. In your secret financial tool. Start saving for emergencies and invest wisely. Let's start investing wisely and build some security. Folks, you can see it. It's all in the news every single day. You know what I've learned when I see politicians going back and forth, whether you're red or you're blue? All I hear in between all the mumbo jumbo is you better start taking care of yourself. You better start putting your family in a position where what's going on in the economy doesn't affect you as much. And that's where your financial plan comes to play. So start creating a budget. If you're over that budget, I would advise you to take maybe 6 months of your bank statements and go through it and start measuring how much money that you spend in food and groceries, just that alone. And then look at the next column of how much money you spent in gas. And you'll start to see that those 2 items, food and gas, is where we start. You may be amazed that you're spending much more money than you expect. And if you're over the $500 mark, you might want to try to force it down to the $200 to $250 mark for how much food you spend in a month. I know you're going to tell me that that's difficult with today's prices, but that just means you may have to go out and do some things, buy in bulk. And then you don't buy everything in one shopping spree. You may have to spread it out a little bit from one check to the next check to the next check. But eventually, you'll have all you need in those categories. And the same thing with your bills. You want to make sure you're not overspending on things that don't serve you anymore. If you're no longer using services, it's probably time to stop and let them go. And when we talk about financial freedom, the word invest to us means taxable. Okay? That means taxable. There's a difference between someone who's doing trading and someone who's doing investing. Investing means we're going to put this money away for the long period of time. And we're going to start putting money away that will allow us to build and build in a secure way. All right? All right? How are we doing thus far? Any comments out there? I'm looking for my comments. I see bills. Y'all lighting it up over here today. Yeah, start now. So what we got? We got takeaways. I see some takeaways. But I can't actually see what you're saying. I'm trying to articulate what you're saying there. Okay, some people say I can't afford to be sick. Yes, can't afford to be sick. Yes, Jen, you can't afford to be sick. Nobody wants to be sick. One of the biggest things that takes away from your financial independence, in my opinion, just try 1 week stay in a hospital. You'll be surprised how much your bills come back as. And once they get back, they want those payments right away. They want those payments right away. I see you, Lilo. You said McDonald's is your spot. I see you. If McDonald's is your spot, then you probably, you want to ask them for some water and maybe that fish sandwich. But it's time to review all of that. We can all get out of habit. And this is Ronco Johnson, your lifestyle focused wealth coach. And I'm here to tell you, I'm human just like you. We get off. But the key thing is, if you got off, let's get back on. Let's get back on board. There's no doubt. I heard a wonderful quote the other day. And I think I shared it with you probably a couple of weeks ago. And the quote goes like this: one day, or today's the first day. One day, or today's the first day. And what I mean by that is simply this: one day you're going to lose 10 pounds, or today's the first day towards losing 10 pounds. One day I'm going to earn 6 figures, or today's the first day towards earning 6 figures. One day I'm going to leave this deadbeat job and start my career, or today's the first day I'm starting my new career. I'm taking my control of my life, and I'm going to live the lifestyle that I dream about, the lifestyle that I manifest through my thoughts and my wisdom and my experiences. And I'm going to go out to the world and create it and share it. And that's a holistic approach to what we mean by lifestyle focused wealth. And remember, wealth is not always just cash. Wealth is the time that you spend with family, the friends, the moments that you share. Undeniably, I happen to love birthday season for me because it gives me an opportunity to hang out with folks who want to just show love to me in the way that they want to do it. And one of the best things I've ever done was let go of control and let them have it. And because of that, I've been able to see and do things that I would never have decided to do on my own. I see you, Lilo. You're saying intertwine together. The takeaways is to intertwine together. Absolutely. That's what lifestyle focused wealth is all about. Our philosophy here is simply this: you don't have to do one thing at a time. I think what happens when people start doing one thing at a time, they lose focus on the overall comprehensive plan. You can put so much focus on one thing that you forget about all the others that you need to do. And you may be proficient at the one thing that you chose and deficient at the other 10. The key thing is, how do we balance these things out? We have to get it balanced, because in real life, we're living. In real life, we want to spend time with family, friends. We want to go on vacation. We want to buy nice things for one another. We want to give. But we have to do it in a way where it makes sense. It's got to make sense. Yeah. Hey, self-care can be expensive. And I think I'm talking to you, Jen. Thank you for the comments, by the way. If self-care is important to you, it can be expensive. You know, just this afternoon, I was at the doctor's office and just getting my checkup in. And yes, I had to write the check. I had to pay for it. But in my back of my mind, I started to think, okay, if I pay him whatever the cost of that bill is up front, first of all, let's think about the entire plan. Where am I getting the money from? Okay. Am I getting it from my reserves or my emergency funds? Well, I'm probably pulling it from a place where I'm not disrupting my interest from growing. I'm prepared, right? Because we're heading this class called Lifestyle Focused Wealth. We're going to pull from it. And the second thing I understand is because it's a medical expense, it's tax deductible, or it's actually a business expense for me. What? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. You mean if you spend $2,000, you can deduct it? If you're a business owner, that's something to look at. That because health insurance or health costs are 100% business expense. So there's probably a way that you're getting some of that back. And you're probably taking away from yourself if you're not including your health care for the season. Whether that's just, hey, massages, chiropractic care, your normal, medical checkups. Self-care can be a business expense for some of us. We've talked about that. And if you set up everything properly, this conversation is for you. But if you've been putting it off, one day I'm going to set up a business. One day I'm going to set up a corporation. One day I'm going to get a trust. Or are you in the second conversation? Today is the first day that I'm setting up my trust. Today is the first day that I'm setting up my corporation. Today is the first day that I'm going to get these business expenses that Ronco's been talking about. And I want to minimize some of these taxes through my business. My health and my wealth need to correspond. And guess what? If you happen to be wealthy, you still need to be healthy to enjoy it. Hey man, I almost need to start me a rap album. That rhymed a little bit. What else do we got out there as takeaways? Yes, Leela, absolutely. Your dollars are worth more today than they are tomorrow. So think about it. If you spent $10,000 today, that's really you saving $100,000 tomorrow. So you got to have a different mindset. The wealthy think totally different. We can justify our spending very simply because tomorrow is going to be more expensive. It's going to be more expensive for you. So why should we hesitate? We need to do this now. If we do this part now, we can enjoy all the fruits of our labor later. We can enjoy all the fruits of our labor later. And I think that's really what the game plan is for most of us. You're right, Jim. One day sounds like procrastination, and today's sounds like more action. That's exactly right. Which category? Which category are you? I want to know this. I want to know this from everybody that's watching. And I know we're almost coming to an end. Which category are you in? Are you in the one-day category? Or are you in today category? Are you in the one day or today's the first day category? I want you to put it in the comments. I want you to put it in the comments and make sure that we know you're in the one day or today's the first day. So put in the comments one day or today's the first day. And we want to evaluate who's out there that's in today's the first day. Because there is no middle. There is no excuse. We're not taking excuses. We're leaving excuses at the door and we're taking on the responsibility, right? We're taking on the responsibility because it's only up to us. It's only up to us I need you guys to understand that. I want you guys to understand that. So important. That once again, when we talk about manifesting and thinking about it, and how do you bring yourself into a world of abundance, when you start really thinking about it, who's doing the thinking? You are. Who's doing the action? You are. And who's waiting around for somebody to save them? You are. So, what are we going to do about it? One day you're going to get there? Or is today your first day? Hey, thank you guys very much for tuning in. You know, this has been a good meeting. This has been a good meeting. Lady, you're a trip. Ms. Wilson, you're a trip. You got your foot in both. You can't be one. You can't be straddling. I'm only going to allow you to be in one category today. Today's the first day. Today's the first day category. If you had to choose, which one is it going to be? I will give you guys just a few more seconds. Do not forget to schedule your annual reviews. Let's go ahead and do that before this holiday season comes up. Let's start talking about our budgets right now. What do we got coming up? You got Halloween coming up. You got Christmas coming up. You got Thanksgiving coming up. You got New Year's coming up. Man, you got birthdays coming up. So we need to really, really, really have an idea where we are, where we're going, and where we want to be. And make sure that we're taking the financial steps so that we can have better health and less stress this holiday season. Because we're already going to have a budget. And we know where we're going to get it from. And I can tell you now, part of that is that if you haven't done your financial planning, if you haven't done your wealth building, you're probably stressing out because you know there's a start date and an end date. And the pressure gets heavier and heavier the longer we live. The more days that we get on this planet, the less days that we have to get this thing done. So start getting it done. Start taking action today. I'm going to give you a permission to get in touch with me. Let's get started. That's our financial and wealth and health challenge for this year. I promise you, by the time we got to the fourth quarter, if you've been following everything we've said, you're going to be in position. But we don't want to ruin it right here at the end. This is where we really need to focus, and we really need to concentrate on the things that matter. Family, friends, our legacy, wills, trust, our health. Instead of gaining 15 pounds over the holiday, why don't we lose 15 pounds during the holiday? Instead of spending $5,000 in the stores, why don't we save $5,000? That way we can put it away and leverage it. How does that sound to y'all? I love it. I love it. Hey, listen, thank you guys for being in the comments. Continue to be motivation for someone else. You never know who's listening. You never know who's watching. And when they start noticing that your pockets are getting bigger and then your weight is getting smaller and your smile is getting bigger because you have less stress, you're influencing by your actions and you're motivating. People are watching. And when they ask you, I just want you to look at them and say, lifestyle focused wealth, baby. Hey, I'm Ronco Johnson. Thank you guys. And that's the end of our program today. Hey, you can check us out here every Friday at 1 o'clock. Lifestyle focused wealth. And this is when the lights go out. Are you ready? So don't forget, don't forget, folks, don't forget to keep watching. Tell your family, tell your friends, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can get our up-to-date content. And I'll see you at the top next week. So until then, you guys be good, be safe, and enjoy your weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.